Good evening, Guy. My name is T. Bamshebe Samson. I'm the CSC 206 Human Computer Interaction. And we are in section 2 of the course. We have treated the unit 1, unit 2, unit 3, and this is unit 4. Device, technological perspective, interaction style, and device technological perspective. The introduction still remains the same. The course objective still remains the same. But the learning outcome of these units, it is expected that at the end of this unit section, the student should be able to understand an interaction style that can be described as an interaction technique that shares the same metaphor or design principle. Examples are command line and direct manipulation user interface. The student should also understand the two major classes of interaction style that will be considered are the dialogue style of interaction between computer and user and the distinct style of interaction. Device technological perspective interaction style and device technology. An interaction style can be described as an interaction technique that shares the same metaphor or design principle. Examples are command line and direct manipulation user interface. Two major classes of interaction style that will be considered are the dialogue style of interaction between computer and user and distinct style of interaction. Those are the two major classes that will be considered in this unit. So interaction style. Command style of interactions are command line interface, menu, natural language, question and answer and query dialogue. So form field and spreadsheets. So WIMP, which is window icon menu pointer interface, point and click, then three-dimensional interface. Graphical user interface, copy and paste, cut and paste, single document interface, multiple document interface, tabbed document interface, drag and drop, console, widgets, direct manipulation interface, and zoom user interface. We also have interaction paradigm include hypertext, hypermedia, hyperlink. We have speech recognition, speech synthesis, natural language processing, non-speech audio input. We have mouse gesture, handwritten recognition. We have haptic and teletic, computer mediated reality, virtual reality. Then we have virtual reality, we have augmented reality, we have computer support collaborative work software. We have ubiquitous computing, whereby wearable computers. We have brain computer interface. Then miscellaneous, we have hardware devices, human computer information retrieval, we have information retrieval, we have internet and the world wide web, we have multimedia software agent user universal usability, we have user experience design, we have virtual programming language. Then the brief explanation is given as follows. Command line interface. This is the way of expressing instructions to the computer directly and comprises the function keys. Single characters, short abbreviations, whole word, or a combination of them. Then the characteristics of command line interface are as follows. It is suitable for repetitive tasks. It is more valuable for expert users than novice. It offers direct access to system functionality. The command names and abbreviations should, however, be meaningful for an effective interface. A typical example is found in the Unix operating system. Some of us who are very vast in using command line and command environments, we know many code or many lines of combined words can easily produce different results because you interact directly with the system using command uh, line interface, which is to use your CMD environment. Then you'll be able to at least give an example is maybe you have a situation whereby you are unable to see some of your file or your file are being attacked by virus. There are there are code in which you can easily communicate with the disk and then reveal the entire file of that disk. Menu. These are set of options displayed on the screen. You know, when you open your my computer now, when you open my computer, your desktop, you will see several menus there that at least you will be able to at least use it to interact with the computer. Its characteristics include the following. The menu options are visible, have less recall, and it is easier to use because it relies on recognition of the name should be meaningful. Menu selection is done by either clicking numbers, letters, using the arrow key, or mouse or combinations, e.g. mouse plus accelerators. The menu options are often hierarchically grouped in a sensible manner. It is a restricted form of full window interface monitor system. So when you look at, let's say when you open your system, there's a menu bar. Let's say you open Microsoft Word, and there's a menu bar that when you when you click drop down, you'll be able to see those menu, print, ruler, adjust. You know, all those things you can easily see them. They are readable, so they are always on. Natural language. This is a language that should be familiar to the user. It is a form of speech recognition or type natural language. Problem with the use of natural language are that it could be vague or ambiguous and hard to use. Part of the solution to this is for the user to try to understand a subset of language, thereby picking on key words. Query interface. This basically comprises questions and answer interface where the user is led through interaction via a series of questions to be answered. It is suitable for novice users but has restricted functionality. It is often used in information systems. Some of these query languages include the SQL used to retrieve information from database. This requires understanding of database structure and language syntax, hence it requires some expertise. Form fields. This primarily used for data entry or data retrieval. It is like a screen-like paper form in which data is input in relevant place. It requires good design and obvious correction facilities. An example of form fields, you know, we have it like many of you use Google Form and several other form fields like that. So this is just an example of it. You can see Go Faster Travel Agents. So see, you just fill in the instructions, start form. You know, those are the details. We have several. Many of you are also you have been designing different forms too. So like spreadsheets. The first spreadsheet was Visca, followed by Lotus 1, 2, 3. However, MS Excel, the most common spreadsheet today, having a sophisticated variation of form field. It has a grid of cells containing a value or a formula. The formula can involve values of other cells, e.g., sum of all cells in this column. The user can enter and alter data in the spreadsheet with considerable consistency. So we have that at least we've taught you people in 102. Spreadsheet can be used from for different computational for data computation. Point and click interface. This is used in multimedia, web browser, hypertext. It is sometimes called just click, something using icon, text link, or location on maps. It requires minimal typing. Three-dimensional interface. This is made up of virtual reality, ordinary window system, and 3D workplace. The ordinary window system comprises highlighting virtual, avoidable, and indiscriminate use. The 3D workplace have uses for extra virtual space. It is light and occlusion to give depth and distance effects. Then, RIP interface stand for window, I said it, window, icon, menu, and pointers. Icon, mice, and pull down menu. It is a default style interface for majority of interactive computer systems, especially PCs and desktop machines. Whip interface, window, icon, menu, pointer, or window, icon, mice, and pull down menu. Element of WIMP, window, icon, menu, and pointer are buttons, toolbar, pilot, and dialog boxes. Those are the window, for example. These are areas of screen that behave as if they are independent and can contain text or graphics, which can be moved or resized. They can overlap and obscure each other, or can be laid out next to one another. They are made up of strobe bars that allow the user to move the content of the window up and down or from side to side. Title bar that describe the name of the windows. Icons. Icon comprises small pictures or images that represent some of the objects in the interface. It often represents window or actions. The window can be closed down or iconized. A small representation may fit into many accessible windows. The icon can be many and various. They are highly stylized and realistic representation. Pointer. These are important components of WIMP style that relies on pointing and selecting things. It uses mouse, trackpad, joystick, trackball, console, keys, keyboard, shortcuts to access wide varieties of graphical image. Menu. These are choice of operations or services offered on screens. The required option is selected with pointers. However, this takes a lot of screen space. This problem is partly solved when a pop-up menu appears when needed. Kinds of menu. Menu bar at top of screen. Normally, menu drag down. Pull down menu. Mouse hold and drag down me. Drop down menu. Mouse click refill menu. fall down menu, mouse just move your bar. Then we have contextual menu appear where you are. Pop-up menu take action for selected object. Pie menu are arranged in a circle. This is easier to select item over larger type target area. It is also quicker because it can move some distance to any option, but it is not widely used. Menu extra, cascading menu. This has a hierarchical menu structure in which a menu selection open new menu, and so it is so in ad infinitum. Keyboard accelerator. This comprises key combinations with same effect as menu item. They are of two kinds: active when menu opened, usually first letter, and active when menu closed, usually control plus letter. Then we have, in order to design effective menu, the following issue should be considered: which kind to use, what to include in the menu at all, what to use in action or description, and how to group items. Choice of keyboard accelerator buttons. This is an individual and isolated region within a display that can be selected to invoke action. The special kind that exist are um, toolbar. These are long line of icons with fast access to common actions and are often customizable. You can choose which toolbar to use and choose what options are on it. Gender, male, female, interest, submit. Pilot and tear off menu. Pilot are little windows of action shown or hidden via menu option in available shapes in drawing package. In tear off and pin up menu. Menu tear off to become pilot. Dialog boxes. These are information windows that pop up to inform of an important event or request information. For example, when saving a file, a dialog box is displayed to show the user to specify the file name and location. Once the file is saved, the box disappears. Widgets are bits that make the graphical user interface. They are the individual item on a graphical user interface. They can also be called the element of window, icon, menu, and pointer interface. Examples of widgets include the check boxes, the toolbars, the button, etc. See the pictorial illustration below. It that makes the graphical user interface. They are the individual item on a graphical user interface. They can also be called the element of the. Example of widget include the checkbox, the toolbars, the button, etc. See the pictorial. Okay, this is it. So widgets, you know, you can see both interlace and ignore back. These are examples of widgets. The three aspects of widget can be identified in the following way: by appearance, in the way they look like, by the nature of their interaction as to how they behave, and by their semantic and regard their meaning. By appearance, appearance include words that are verbs that represent some action such as quick, quit, exit, embodying, and internalize. They could also be adjectives that describe the state of those words, such as bold, interlace, etc. They could be noun that represent the name of the appearance, such as time, New Roman, etc. They could be combination of verbs and adjectives, e.g., embodying plus interlist. This describes the action the toolkit arise out, and your behavior at this can be controlled. Example are drawing and such interaction between the widgets themselves. But timing issues of this behavior should be watched, such as large selection under window applications. See the pictorial examples. So you can see ignore, move mouse over button and ignore, then move mouse on target button stay highlight, then ignore. By semantics, semantics are menu, button, etc. that do things as desired by the user. So bold interlace, you can see. This is how we can bold, we can interlace. You understand what I'm saying? You bold it and interlace it. You click OK, then it will give you the answer. Then semantic assignment is determined by the designer or users. You say what it means. The semantics is usually up to you. Although widget may link direct to database, even then you say what links to the database. So to choose the widget for the job, assign meaning first on what you want it to do, followed by appearance and then how you want it done. You may, for example, want actions carried out through menu, buttons, or toolbar, or you want to set the status of the option using checkbox, radio button, combine or combine. Now these are also some of the widgets that you can see and familiarize yourself with. So in conclusion, designing an interaction style should be based on the following criteria. Domain. This considers the area of work under study. Graphic design, for example. Goal. What designer wants to achieve. Create a solid red triangle, for example, or create a purple brown ball. Task. How to go which to present the style ultimately in terms of operation or action, e.g. select field to click over triangle. The style should be easy to focus on look and feel, because if you want someone to do something, make it easy for them and understand the value. So in summary, interaction style are the nature of dialogue between the user and the system. A graphical user interface is a type of user interface which allow people to interact with electronic device like computer and a device through graphical icon and visual indicator by direct manipulation of the graphical element. In window icon menu pointer interface, WIMP stands for what I have just read out. It is a default style interface for majority of interactive computer systems, especially PC and desktop machine. Widgets are bits that makes the graphical user interface. They are the individual item on the graphical user interface. They can also be called element of WIMP interface. Menu are choice of operation or service offered on the screen. A button is an individual and isolated region within a display that can be selected to invoke action. Toolbars are icons with fast access to common actions and are often customizable. Pilots are little windows of action shown or hidden via menu options. in available shapes in drawing package. Dialog boxes are information windows that pop up to or inform of an important event or request information such as saving file. Thanks for attending this class. We have come to the end of this section 2 of this course. So please try as much as possible to follow up with your assignment and other tasks available, discussion forum, and then the quiz available for this course. Thanks for listening. Have a nice day.